Happy Tuesday to my favorite people ever. I hope that you guys are all having a lovely start to your day. We're going to do some math this morning, but before we do, I wanted to play a game with you. So, let's do this. Your job at home is to guess what I'm saying, so let's go. Okay, I got this. Look good, feel good, teach good. Here we go. I, Lily Mammoth, is named Barbara. I, Lily Mammoth, is named Barbara. See, he got it. My woolly mammoth is named Barbara. Alright. Next one here. Ooh, this one's hard. Farmer plants flower bulbs around the bush. Farmer plants flower bulbs around the bush. See if you got that one. Farmer plants flower bulbs around the bush. Oh, that one was ridiculous. Okay, one more. I'm taking up a lot of time with this. I thought it would be fun. I miss you, and I wanted to play a game with you. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. No, that one would be good. Hot belly pigs are priceless. Hot belly pigs are priceless. See what you got. Oh, or rather, what I have. Pot-bellied pigs are priceless. All right, let's get started on some math. So we have been working on multi-digit addition and subtraction, and I wanted to do that, and we also did multiplication and division, and I wanted to do that to lead up to some word problems that we were going to do. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is a flowchart. So this flowchart is a nifty little tool that helps us determine whether our word problems are asking us to add, multiply, subtract, or divide. So if we look at the top, the very first question we ask is, do you know the total? If you do not know the total, then you go to the left and you follow the no, and then you ask yourself the next question. Do you have equal parts or groups? If you do not, then it's an addition problem. If you do, then it's a multiplication problem. So going back up to the top, do you know the total? If we do know the total, then the question we ask ourselves is, do you need equal groups or equal parts? If you do not, then it's just a simple subtraction problem. If you do need equal parts or groups, then it's a division problem. So this is kind of just a nifty tool to help us organize our thinking as we do word problems. So let's take a look at our first problem here. Dajaria has 864 marbles in his collection. Jaden has 7,584 marbles in her collection. Part A. How many more marbles does Jaden have than Dajaria? So, as I have always said, we need some kind of organizational system. We could draw out marbles, or my personal favorite is to use words. So, we have two people here, or two parts. There's Dajaria. Make sure I spelled it right. And there is Jaden. Hopefully you're filling this out with me. Go ahead and take a moment and fill in what we know, and I'm going to do the same. So we know that Dajaria has 864 marbles and Jaden has 7,584. The question asks us, how many more marbles does Jaden have than Dajaria? Well, we know that Jaden has more marbles than Dajaria has. What we're trying to figure out is how many more marbles. So if this were a tape diagram, we would have Jaden's, and then there would be Dajaria's. You can see that there's less. So we want to figure out what's the difference between these two numbers. So this is a subtraction problem. So we will do 7,584, take away 864. And you guys practice this. 4 take away 4 is 0. 8 take away 6 is 2. 5 take away 8 I can't do, so I have to go to the next place value place. This becomes a 6. This becomes a 15. 15 take away 8 is 7. And you have 6 there. So Jaden had 6,720 more marbles than Dajaria. For the second part of this problem, we want to know how many marbles do both Dajaria and Jaden have together. So let's think about this. Do we know the total or do we not know the total? Well, we know how much Dajaria has. We know how much Jaden has. We want to know the total together, how much they have. So we do not know the total. It doesn't say anything about equal groups, so we know that this is an addition problem. So 7,584 plus 864. We add those together. 4 and 4 is 8. Oops, that's an 8. 8 and 6 is 14. 8 plus 5 is 13, plus 1 is 14. And 1 plus 7 is 8. So together, they have 8,448 marbles. For our next problem, George needed $4,639 to pay his taxes. He had $3,754. How much money would he need to borrow from his brother to pay his taxes? So I've pulled out the important information here, what we know. We know that he needs $7,576. We know that he has $5,988, and we want to know how much is he borrowing. So if you think back to that flow chart, the first question was, do you know the total? So let's think through that. Do we know the total here? Do we know how much he needs in total? We do. He needs 7,576. So automatically, this is either going to be a division problem or it's going to be a subtraction problem. So we have to think through what else we know. Is it asking for equal groups? Asking us to break something apart? It's not. We just know that he has a certain amount of money and that he needs a certain amount of money. And so this would be a subtraction problem. So let's subtract. We're going to do 7,576. Take away 5,988. 6 take away 8 we can't do, so we go next door. That turns to a 6. This to a 16. 16 take away 8 is 8. 6 take away 8 can't do, so we go next door. That turns to a 4. This turns to a 16. 16 take away 8 is 8. 4 take away 9 we can't do. Go next door. That turns to a 6. This turns to a 14. 14 take away 9 is 5. 6 take away 5 is 1. So he needs to borrow $1,588 from his brother. So our next and final problem says the first grade class has 45 students, the second grade class has 4 more students than the first grade class, the third grade class has 16 more students than the first grade class, the fourth grade class has the same number of students as the first grade class, and the fifth grade class has 7 fewer students than the first grade class. How many students are there altogether in the 5 grades? So when we think about solving this, it's super important that we are writing things down. I've told you before, sometimes they're going to give you word problems that are like riddles, and this is one of those. So if we organize this information and we break it apart piece by piece, it should be pretty simple. So let's solve this together. So our job is to take this information, to pull out what we know, and to figure out what it is that we're looking for. So we know that the first grade class has 45 students. Plain and simple, has 45 students. So I've listed out here 1st through 5th, And then I know that we're looking for the total of all 5 of them because that's what the question asks. So first grade has 45 students, just simply. The second grade class has 4 more students than the first grade class. Now, does it say it has 4 students? No, 4 more students than who? Than the first grade class. So we've got to take whatever the first grade was and do 4 more than that. If we're doing 4 more than that, think through whether that's going to be addition or subtraction. It's going to be addition because it should be bigger than the first grade class here. So first grade had 45. We'll add those together. Second grade has a total of 49 students. The third grade class has 16 more students than the first grade class. So listen to that carefully. They have 16 more than first grade. So again, I'm going to draw a line here. This is whatever first grade was. They had 16 more than that. So we're adding 16. I'm going to get rid of this total here. I'll put it somewhere else. So what did first grade have? First grade had 45. So to figure out third grade, we've got to do 45 plus 16. You can stack those. 6 and 5 is 11. 4 plus 1 plus 1 is 6. They have a total of 61 students. I'm going to circle these so we know what our total answer is here. Let's keep reading. The fourth grade class has the same number of students as the first grade class. So whatever the first grade class has, that's what the fourth grade class has. That was an awful line. First grade. What did first grade have? First grade, 45. And let's see what they say about fifth. And the fifth grade class has 7 fewer students than the first grade class. So again, we're using first grade. And if it's less than what first grade had, then that's going to be a subtraction problem. So whatever first grade was, and it's 7 fewer than that. So 45 take away 7, you could stack those and subtract. I'm just going to do it in my head, and I get 38. So let's take a look at what we know. We know first grade has 45 students, second grade has 49, third grade has 61, fourth grade has 45, and fifth grade has 38. Let's see if we answered the question. How many students are there all together in the 5 grades? So let's think back to our flow chart. Do we know the total? No, we do not. That's what we're looking for. Do we have to get equal groups? No, we do not. We just need the total of these. Therefore, this is going to be an addition problem. So I'm going to take 45, 49, 61, 45, and 38 and add those together. And if you added those all together, you should have gotten a total of 238 students total.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I hope you all have the most lovely Tuesday. I have really enjoyed teaching you about word problems, and I really look forward to talking to you guys today on Google Classroom. So, have a great day. I miss you. Bye.